Nicks and Bruises, we are back. Shout out to the chat. Yo, Black is time. Shout out to you guys. I'm flying solo today. It won't be long. We got Queen's Court at 7:30. I know y'all gonna be ready to tune in for that one. But I want to talk about this last game. Indiana Pacers beat the New York Knicks 132-121. Uh it looked like a collapse in this fourth quarter. I'm rewatching the game. This is the second time I'm watching it. We were neck and neck all game. Started the fourth quarter with a 2 point lead. Hit a three to start off the fourth quarter. Went up by 5, and it was pretty much curtains from there. I am Jarrell. Salute. Appreciate you jumping in. Angel Torres. Salute. But my question to you guys is, and maybe you guys could help me out with the answer, is Tibbs, what are you thinking? um we know what the narratives have been with Tibbs as far as running players into the ground, playing players into the ground. And I'm not ready to, call it that just yet. But you basically running with a 6-man rotation, with Deuce McBride being our primary scoring coming from the second unit. These guys look like they were out of gas in the fourth quarter. We got 40 minutes for Josh Hart, 30 plus, 35, 36 minutes for Brunson and McHale. McHale had a horrible game, so if anybody should have got a breather and time to maybe regroup and figure things out, it should have been McHale for sure. You know what I mean? But what do you guys think? I mean, is this the trend? Is this the normal? Excuse me, my cat trying to get on camera. You ain't want to see me all day. As soon as I go live, here you go. Pardon me. But yeah, man, we need some more bench production. I think that's our biggest weakness right now. Our fourth quarter points in general as a whole is horrible. I think they second in the league as far as, or second worst in the league as far as fourth quarter net rating. These guys are gassed. They need help, and Precious is not available yet. We brought Matt Ryan in. We could use shooting. We definitely could have used some shooting last night. Matt Ryan can get a shot. You know what I mean? We need rim protection. Let's see what Huck Purdy could do. I'm sure if you give him Sims minutes, not that that's helping with the depth, just subbing him for Sims, but I'm sure he could give you at least the same production. But he has a lot more energy. You know what I mean? I think he's a better rim protector. Maybe we get a look of him next to Cat, which could spell OG some minutes, and trickle down the line. But, this thing, again, I'm not panicking, and we're going to talk about it in depth on Queen's Court. But, Tibbs, man, what are you thinking? 6-man rotation. I think Kolek played 96 seconds. Sims played like 11 minutes, and obviously Deuce didn't have a great game either. So we can't rely on Deuce to be all of our bench scoring, because when he has a bad game, when he has an unproductive game, now we have no bench. Yes, let me shout out some people in the chat. Got my guy Quiet Money in the building. Salute. Craig, salute. Appreciate you. Who else we got here? Don J. He says Tibbs don't play the bench. I know. I mean, he's so far. We played 8 games, 9 games, 4 and 5, 9 games already. He's played the bench. Like over the course of these 9 games, we've seen Kolek play some important minutes in games. We've seen Huck Purdy play some important minutes in games. We've seen Dadier played early in the um first quarter. You know what I mean? So he obviously, we've seen him play these guys so far. It's just, it's about that trust. When he feels like it's a close game or the game is on the line, he's not willing to budge with the guys that have proven things to him already. But you got to give guys a chance to prove them. And I'm not talking about playing any of these guys or all of these guys at the same time. You know what I mean? But you could utilize at least one of these guys at times. There's no reason Kolek is playing 2 minutes. Give Brunson a extra 2 or 3 minutes of rest. Maybe he's a little fresher down the stretch of the game. Before I get out of here, I definitely gonna talk about Precious because I feel like he's, not that we're relying on him, but he's a vital piece. I'm gonna explain my thoughts on that in a second. Let me just continue to shout some of you guys out. Pardon me. Who else we got in here? Donald Cannon. He says by 20 games. I get it. It's not 20 games yet. I'm not fully judging, what we've seen so far over the 9-game stretch. But this last game, man, and other than the Boston game, we've really been having these fourth quarter collapses. Um, it's just something we got to figure out. The fourth quarter is really, really killing us. It was a long stretch where I felt like Mikal Bridges was our most consistent player, but it seems, these last couple of games, he's kind of not finding his way offensively. And I think that is up to Thibs. And I think that's also up to his teammates to kind of help him find his way, because he's looking lost out there offensively. And I shouldn't say lost. He started out hot to start the season. He's really he had a real bad shooting night the past couple games from 3. 2-point range, mid range, he's been unbelievable. And he has a large burden on his shoulders, being the guy who's guarding the primary ball handler on the other team. But I think that's why we have to find some easier shots for him. We got to find plays, 2 or 3 plays a quarter, I feel like, where it's designated to get him in a spot, in a position where he could succeed and get an easy bucket. Whether it's a post up, something to find that mid range for him, but let him eat with his bread and butter. Those corner shots are going to be there regardless. Eventually, he'll start hitting them again. I'm not too worried about that, but get him some easy buckets. Pardon me, we were on a stretch, where we scored in double digits. The starters scored in double digits for, I think, 5 or 6 consecutive games. That ended last game with Bridges scoring 8. But overall, I mean, the game was, Cat had a phenomenal game, especially in the second half, turned it around. I think he had 10 points in the first half. It looks like he's ending with plus 30 or at least 30. Brunson had a real solid game. Nice to see him find his rhythm for sure. Hart's, we're not asking him to score 20, 30 points, but he's been phenomenal, I feel like. Just making winning plays all throughout the game. Obviously, his 3-ball is still non-existent, but he's doing so much other positives on the floor. It's hard to kind of blame him for his weak points, because he's been very vital. I think, I still would like to elevate Precious, if possible, if when he becomes available. Campaign should be back soon. That should help our bench depth. But Tibbs, you gotta trust one of these younger guys. I'm not saying play them all together. I'm not saying play them all in one game, but you gotta find one of them per game. I feel like to kind of give them a fair shot, give them a shot to kind of get some game run, and maybe they can help. It doesn't have to be a detriment, 2 minute spurts. If they looking good, it could go to three. It could go to four. If it's not looking good, rotate them out. But give them another shot in the third quarter, in the fourth quarter. Um, that fourth quarter was horrible. Let me read this comment real quick. I am Jarrell. He says maybe Tibbs is trying to force the chemistry by playing them all these minutes, or maybe he's just a madman. I've thought of that. Trying to maximize the chemistry of the starters, and then slowly rotate into the rest of the rotation. But it's tough to believe that this early in the year, when he's not really focusing on. I think the 1-2 combo of the pick and roll combo of Brunson and Cat. I think that's been highly underutilized. I just mentioned he's got to find ways for Bridges to kind of get some easy looks because he has such a burden on him on the defensive end. That doesn't seem to be a part of what Tibbs is kind of working out. I think he just trusts. I think he just doesn't trust the other guys, and he's not gonna play guys he doesn't trust. And when the score of the game is so close, he's definitely not going. Like he's going with the guys he has the reputation with. If we're up 10, you'll start to see guys. Maybe if we're down 10 late, what I mean. We'll see some guys. It probably has to be more than 10 with Tibbs. 20 down 20. We'll see these guys, but I think he just don't trust them. But I think he's gonna have to give some leeway for sure. Sharon says, "Good evening, Tony. The more I listen to you and Steph, the more I don't think you guys know basketball. 5-out offense is designed to make players like Cat, Miles Turner, and Ariel Hukporti look bad." I would love for you to elaborate and what you mean by it's designed to make players like Cat look bad. Look bad defensively, or because I think Cat has looked wonderful offensively. Um, and I think the offense isn't the problem. I think the defense is more the problem. I think the perimeter defense, which we got two guys who were supposed to kind of sure things up in that aspect. And I can't even say they've been bad. I don't know if I thought the primary ball handler then assignment would go to Bridges. I don't know if that's his greatest strength. He's he's giving it his all night in and night out, but it's a tough task, especially when it goes to point guards. I prefer him on twos and threes, but yeah, to your point, I don't know what you mean by it's designed to make them look bad. Um, and why would you put Hukporti in the same category as Cat and Miles Turner? I see the similarities between Cat and Miles. I wouldn't put Hukporti in that same category. If anything, I think Cat should be able to help. Hukporti should be able to help the way things look. Maybe giving us a look with Cat not at the center at all times. You know what I mean? I'm looking forward to Mitch coming back. That's a long time from now. I'm looking forward to Precious coming back. Shout out to Ranrock. It's been a minute, my guy. I checked on you a while ago, a couple months ago on Twitter. I don't really be on Twitter, but came across your name. Hope all is well. Definitely glad you're still rocking with us. He says this is ridiculous. If the Pacers can play 10 players, then there should be no reason why Tibbs can't play 10. They played 10 players in the third quarter alone. And I think that was intentional by Carlisle to kind of keep guys fresh for that fourth. And I think we saw the difference between their guys in the fourth and our guys in the fourth. They dropped 40 points in the fourth quarter. That was by far our worst defensive quarter. Um, yeah, like I said, we started the fourth with a 2-point lead, hit the first basket in the fourth, so we went up by 5. And yeah, these guys hit. I want to say they hit more threes. They might have hit more threes in the fourth quarter than we hit in the game, in the whole game. I'm pretty sure they hit more threes in the fourth quarter than we hit in the entire game. And that's another thing that has killed us this year and was a staple for us last year. Now, maybe we'll get to it as the season goes on. But, with the offensive rebounding and the shot attempts, we were getting 10 to 20 more shot attempts than other teams on any given night. If you look at the losses that we've had, either we're getting outshot by 20 shots in the game, or we're getting outshot by 10 to 15 to even 20 3-pointers in the game. We're not gonna lose. I mean, we're not gonna win when we're getting outshot as far as attempts by 20 each game. And I don't care who we play. It could be Detroit, you know what I mean? It could be Utah. If they're getting 20 more shots than us and getting 20 more 3 attempts than us, it's gonna be a long uphill road. And that don't matter how good we shoot, because you've seen the even the Boston game, we shot phenomenal from the field, we shot phenomenal from 3, we shot phenomenal from the free throw line. And this whole year we've been top in those 3 categories. But when you look at the attempts, now we're at the bottom of the league. So we got to figure out ways to get more possessions. I know a lot of people, a lot of Knicks fans. I hear them talking about a lot of blame on Brunson. The same narrative that we heard about Randall being a ball stopper. We're hearing that about Brunson. I'm not gonna deep dive into that so much. He's the primary ball handler. The ball's gonna be in his hands. It is an adjustment for him, so I think he'll get better. I think he has gotten better. Coming off the ball and giving up the ball, I should say. Assist numbers have been, not great, but not bad at all. And I think they're getting better as the season goes on. So I'm gonna slow that roll on Brunson. I got no gripes just yet. Pardon me. Time we got? How much time we got? Got about 13 minutes. Let's talk about Precious real quick. Then I'm gonna get out of here. Get ready for Queen's Court. Given how the season's gone so far, with the rotations, with the 6.5, 7 guys in the rotation. I mean, you can't really count Sims. He's playing 11 minutes at most. I doubt he's averaging 11. So it's really Deuce and Cam, and Cam's been hurt and in and out. One thing that I'm looking forward to when Precious does return is he's gonna be able to spell minutes for 4 of our starters. You know what I mean? Because he's so multi-positional, he's gonna be able to play the 5, possibly play alongside Cat, but play the 4, play the 3, and give all these other guys some breathing room, because everybody else in that 4 or 5 3 and 2 role are multi-positional players. So, that should be able to cut 2 minutes minimum off of each one of those guys, just his presence, and kind of give them a little extra breather to be fresher down the stretch. Um, and that's not even just talking about his skill set and what I'm looking forward from Precious. He had a hell of a year last year. I think he overachieved. It looked like coming into the year prior to his injury, he was on pace, or he looked like he was ready to kind of take a next step and hit the ground running. Hopefully, it's not a big adjustment for him coming off this injury, but definitely looking forward to Precious return. Do in the building, salute my guy, I appreciate you. We gotta link up too, man. I'm gonna be in your town around Thanksgiving, maybe that weekend after. So I'm gonna hit you up. Um, well, yeah, looking forward to Precious getting back. But that's my concern, man. This rotation, he's gonna have to expand it and figure that out. We can't rely on Deuce McBride to be the primary scoring off the bench. I mean, he could be the leading scorer off the bench, but we need guys to fill in. They don't have to have prominent roles. You know, just don't mess up. Rebound the ball, play some solid defense, give these guys 5 minutes, 3 minutes, so they could be fresher down the stretch. Because the fourth quarters are killing us. The Yeah, and like I said, those possessions, we gotta beat them in the possession battle. We can't be getting outscored or outshot by 20 attempts, whether it's from 2 or from 3. But that's all I got for you guys. We got 10 minutes, Queen's Court. I'll see you guys there. I don't know who else is on the panel, but looking forward to talking about this whole week. Well, actually, I'm not, because we 1-3. I think I predicted 3-1, so it's a bad week for us. But we got a chance to bounce back. We got Philly tomorrow. Thinking B to be back. We got a back to back. I forget who we play on Wednesday. But look for another show for me between Tuesday, Wednesday, Tuesday or Wednesday. I'll have another one. Hopefully, I get a nice panel for you guys. Hopefully, we could break down a win and talk about some positives. Maybe we'll even see some adjustments from Thibs. Who knows? Sharon says, Tony, 5 out means the coaches have all of the offensive players out of the 3-point line. The center can't sit under the rim. That's illegal defensive whistle. So you're saying guarding against 5 out exposes Miles Turner. You're not saying offensively. You're saying guarding against the 5 out offense. I have my questions and thoughts about that. Whether Cat is better suited. I mean, this is a discussion for when and if Mitchell Robinson returns. Are they going to share the court together? And is Cat better suited at the rim, or guarding the rim or guarding the perimeter? I think he's probably better suited at the perimeter and being able to be a help defender at the rim, as opposed to being a primary rim defender. And I'm sure when we get on Queen's Court, there's an interesting stat that's out there that she's gonna mention, and we're gonna talk in depth about that. So yeah, I'll check you out on Queen's Court. We're gonna talk about that specific topic. So Sharon, bring it up in Queen's Court. I'm interested to see how the panel approaches that. But 5 out is usually an offensive term. And it sounds like you're talking about they're getting exposed guarding against the 5 out. And that's fair. Um, DN, appreciate you jumping in. I'm about to jump out, but shout out to you. He said when the Knicks get healthy, the wins will come because Tibbs will actually play 8 to 9 players, but Tibbs shouldn't get credit for the wins. I do think the rotation will expand when those guys that he trusts are available, but right now they're not. So I think he's really gonna have to. I mean, pressure should be back within the week. I think Cam will be back sooner than that. So that'll bring us back up to 8 deep. And maybe we get Ryan out here. Because the defined skill set of shooting is definitely something we could use and utilize. I think we made 6 or 7 3-pointers last game. 1 3-pointer in the second half. And that was late in the game. Cat hit a late three. We got to get those shot attempts up. We got to utilize the good shooting percentages that we have all across the board. Get to the line more, more attacking the basket, to get to the line, and more 3-point attempts. Not necessarily develop the 7 seconds or less, but I would like a shot attempt up, 14 seconds. You know, and stop getting caught up with these hot potatoes and people gotten to chuck up shots to beat the shot clock. But yeah. All right. I'm rambling. I'm out of here. Appreciate you joining. Replay game. Salute to y'all. Jay from Washington Heights. Salute. I'll see y'all in a few minutes on Queens Court. Appreciate y'all jumping in with me. Yo, Black, it's time. We out.